President Joe Biden is not interested in canceling student loan debt. In fact, here he is telling a student at a recent CNN town hall that he will be doing nothing about canceling student debt. Take a look.
Loans are crushing my family, friends, and fellow Americans.
Me too.
The American dream is to
kidding.
succeed, but how can we fulfill that dream when debt is many people's only option for a degree? We need student loan forgiveness beyond the potential $10,000 your administration has proposed. We need at least a $50,000 minimum. What will you do to make that happen?
I will not make that happen. It depends on whether or not you go to a private university or a public university. It depends on the idea that I say to a community, I'm going to forgive the debt, the billions of dollars of debt for people who have gone to Harvard and Yale and Penn and schools, my children. I went to a great school. I went to a state school. But is that going to be forgiven rather than use that money to provide for early education for young children who come from disadvantaged circumstances?
All right. So now he talks about not having the authority, right? So that's what he said. I'm not going to do it. I don't have the authority to do it. Okay, but your plan is to cancel $10,000 student loan debt, right? Well, what gives you the authority to do that and not $50,000? So, I mean, that's the obvious question. The other thing, though, is that when you look into it, you realize that the whole "I don't have the authority" is actually a bit of a lie. He absolutely does have the authority to do so. In fact, under the Higher Education Act of 1965, the Secretary of Education, which is part of the executive branch, has the authority to cancel student loans. Now, that authority actually comes from a statute that was codified into law in 1965, known as compromise and settlement. So basically, what the Secretary of Education can do is just to say, we're just going to forgive the debt. We're not going to collect on it. That's it. We're just not going to do it. Forgiven, right? And at the end of the day, if that happens, the 44 million people, majority, of them black, will no longer have to deal with crippling student loan debt. Again, a lot of black families have taken out this debt in order to go to these schools. And so now that said, are there obstacles in the way of this? Sure. Let me go through them. The scale of debt forgiveness, for example, could require sign-off by the Attorney General of the United States. Again, that doesn't involve dealing with the Republicans. They could do that. If the debt is considered revenue for the federal government, an Office of Management and Budget would simply have to approve a large long-term loss. Well, there's Neera Tanden. She could sign off on that. And finally, Biden would also have to make sure that the debt forgiveness wasn't taxed as income. But all of that doesn't involve making deals with Republicans, and it's 100% doable. So Biden has the authority to be able to make that stuff happen if he wants to. Now, the only answer as to why he's not doing this and lying about it is simply because he doesn't want to. I mean, that's pretty simple. He can do it. He says, oh, no, I can't, because he doesn't want to do it. I mean, again, doesn't want to cancel $50,000 of student loan debt, doesn't want to cancel all of it. $10,000. We'll be fine with $10,000. But that's unfortunately next to nothing. It's literally interest on some of the higher loans held by borrowers. Okay. And look, because of Joe Biden, you cannot discharge the debt through bankruptcy. And so that's a big problem, okay? They've got to hold the debt for the rest of their lives at, by the way, high interest rates as well. Now, this has happened while Biden is actually facing a lot of pressure from members of the Democratic Party. And so, look, you've got two people. Again, you've got Bernie Sanders that ran on just canceling all the debt, numerous progressives, but then you have the more, centrist wing of the party. You've got Chuck Schumer getting together with Elizabeth Warren to say, Well, why don't you cancel $50,000? That would help a significant amount of people. Again, I'm still in favor of canceling all of it. And the reasons, for me personally, a lot of our generation was kind of sold a lie. I think that we were lied to by recruiters, lied to by colleges, lied to by life coaches and counselors about, oh yeah, no, you go to school, you take out all this debt, but don't worry, you're going to get a good job. You're going to get a great job. And when you're 18 years old and you just got out of school and you've been told all this for, going through school, oh, college. It's the best way to go and get an education and to get a good job. Well, then you do it. And then that doesn't always work out the way that it's supposed to. And these people are often saddled with a lot of debt, and it's a lot more expensive than it used to be. Again, it used to be where you could be able to afford a college tuition from working a minimum wage job. So you could literally work your way through school. And it's because, of course, a lot of these colleges were funded by the states to allow you to have such low tuition. And sometimes we even had states that have fully paid for tuition, allowing people to go to school for free. But then again, decades of defunding those programs, now we're in a situation where college tuition is up by 1,000% from what it was back in the 1960s. And so not good. This is a very bad situation. So now Schumer and Warren, I'll have to admit, they're not our favorite people. Some people very, very unhappy with Elizabeth Warren. Nonetheless, here's Schumer on Twitter saying Presidents Obama and Trump used executive authority to cancel student debt. The Biden administration has said that they're reviewing options for canceling up to $50,000. Senator Warren and I are confident that they'll agree with Obama and Trump standards and experts who say the admin has the authority to deliver relief. Now, I see what he's doing here. Again, for I think a lot of you watching are like, oh, Obama, But there's a huge section of people, liberals, who love Obama. And so I see why he's making this comparison like, oh, hey, look, Obama and Trump, they did it. Why can't they had the authority? Why can't you? Yeah. So it's good messaging to libs who, absolutely love Obama to try to push Biden. I don't think, however, that's going to be effective. Because again, Biden helped put students into this situation in the first place. Again, he didn't fight back when the government was defunding colleges, didn't push for canceling student debt before, and also had written the bill that prevented debt discharge through bankruptcy. And now he's lying about his authority. It really kind of shows you that he's not serious about this. All right. His administration is also defending Betsy DeVos in a lawsuit where she was found in contempt of court by collecting payments from students who were literally defrauded by for-profit colleges. And again, a lot of this is because, look, we know who Joe Biden is. He's the senator from MBNA. He's the senator for the banks and these lenders and these institutions. He always has been on their side. Navient, Nelnet, all these companies that are contracted by the government to collect on student loans, and of course they make money off of that, they all make massive political donations to whoever's in charge to ensure that they continue to get paid for their role in collecting these student loan debts. And Biden is just still part of that system, and he's always going to be part of that system. Biden was not lying when he said, and he didn't tell us this. This is what he told his donors. Nothing would fundamentally change. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.